Marcus spent Wednesday in his motel room. No meetings scheduled, just time to think, to process, to prepare for Dr. Thompson. But thinking was dangerous, because every time he closed his eyes, he saw faces. Darren Mitchell, Patricia Mitchell smiling in that obituary photo, Raymond Foster's daughter looking out the window, Marcus Jr. learning how to survive. His phone buzzed. Agent Foster. Thompson meeting moved up. She can't do Thursday. It's today. 2 p.m. Can you be ready? Marcus looked at the clock. 11:37 a.m. 2.5 hours. I'll be there. He showered, put on clean clothes, tried to eat but couldn't. His stomach was in knots. Dr. Amara Thompson, neurosurgeon, one of the best in the state. And Marcus had pointed a gun at her head in her own driveway because he couldn't believe a black woman could afford a house in Riverside Estates. June 2018. 6 years ago. Marcus had been on the force for 6 years then. Still thought he was one of the good ones. Still told himself he didn't see color. The memory was vivid, crystal clear, like it happened yesterday. He'd been patrolling Riverside Estates around 11 p.m. Quiet neighborhood, big houses, old money. And he'd seen her, a black woman in scrubs, pulling into the driveway of $1 million home. Getting out of a BMW. Tired, just getting off a shift. And Marcus's first thought, she's breaking in. He'd pulled up, lights on, got out with his hand on his weapon. Ma'am, step away from the door. She'd turned, confused. Excuse me, I said step away from the door. Keep your hands where I can see them. This is my house. I need you to prove that. And the look on her face. That mixture of exhaustion and disbelief and resignation. Like she'd been through this before. Like she knew exactly what was happening. She'd been humiliated. In front of her neighbors. Made to produce ID. Mortgage documents. Utility bills. All while Marcus kept his hand on his weapon. Ready. Just in case. He'd never apologized. Just left once she proved she belonged in her own home. And Dr. Thompson had filed a complaint. A detailed one. With witnesses. With documentation. And it had disappeared. Vanished from his file like it never happened. Marcus arrived at the FBI building at 1:45 p.m. Agent Foster met him in the lobby. She's already here, Foster said. And read, she's not like the others. She's not just angry. She's strategic. She's been preparing for this. So be ready. What does that mean? You'll see. They rode the elevator up. Marcus's hands were shaking. He shoved them in his pockets. Conference room C. Through the window, he could see her. Dr. Amara Thompson. She looked different than he remembered. Older. More polished. Hair pulled back. Sharp business suit. And her expression, it wasn't anger. It was something colder. More controlled. She looked like someone who had power. Who knew how to use it. Agent Foster opened the door. Dr. Thompson, thank you for coming. Let's get this over with, Dr. Thompson said. Her voice was calm, professional, like she was about to perform surgery. Agent Foster looked at Marcus. I'll be outside. The door closed. Dr. Thompson didn't wait for Marcus to sit. She pulled out a folder. Thick, organized, set it on the table. Do you know what this is? She asked. No. This is a record of every black professional in Riverside who's been harassed by police in the past 10 years. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, business owners, people with advanced degrees and six-figure salaries who get treated like criminals in their own neighborhoods. She opened the folder. 47 documented cases. Some filed complaints. Most didn't bother because they knew nothing would happen. Marcus felt his stomach drop. You're in here 12 times. 12 separate incidents. 12 black professionals you stopped. Questioned. Humiliated. All because you couldn't believe they belonged where they were. She slid the folder across the table. Marcus looked at the names. The dates. The details. Some he remembered. Most he didn't. Because they'd been routine to him. Just another stop. Just another day. Dr. Marcus Chen, cardiologist, stopped outside his office. June 2017. Attorney Sharon Williams, partner at Williams & Associates. Detained outside courthouse. August 2019. Professor James Butler, physics department head, searched in university parking lot. October 2020. The list went on, and on, and on. You don't remember most of these, do you? Dr. Thompson's voice was sharp. No, I don't. Of course not. Because we weren't people to you. We were threats. Anomalies. Black people in places you decided we didn't belong. And you took it upon yourself to put us in our place. Marcus couldn't argue. She was right. I'm going to tell you about June 14, 2018. The night you pulled your weapon on me in my own driveway. And you're going to listen. You're not going to interrupt. You're not going to apologize. You're just going to hear what you did. Understood? Yes. Dr. Thompson started pacing, but her movements were controlled. Precise. Like everything she did. I'd been in surgery for 14 hours. 14. A 7-year-old girl with a brain tumor. Complex. Delicate. Life or death. I saved her. Removed the tumor. Gave her a chance at life. She stopped. Looked at Marcus. I was exhausted. Emotionally drained. All I wanted was to go home. Shower. Sleep. And then you showed up. Marcus stayed quiet. At first, I thought you were checking on the neighborhood. Being vigilant. But then you got out of your car with your hand on your weapon. And I knew. I knew exactly what was happening. Because it's happened before. Many times before. She sat back down. Leaned forward. Do you know what it's like to be a neurosurgeon? To hold people's lives in your hands. To make split-second decisions that determine whether someone lives or dies. To be trusted with the most delicate, complex procedures in medicine. Marcus shook his head. It requires incredible skill, incredible focus, incredible confidence. I spent 12 years in training. 4 years undergrad. 4 years medical school. 5 years residency. Then fellowship. Then building my practice. Earning respect. Proving myself. Her voice got harder. And in 20 minutes, you stripped all of that away. You reduced me to a suspect. A threat. Someone who had to prove she belonged. Dr. Thompson, I'm not finished. She held up her hand. You made me stand in my driveway at midnight. Made me produce my ID. My mortgage documents. Proof that I owned the house I'd lived in for 3 years. And the whole time, your hand was on your gun. Like I was dangerous. Like saving a child's life earlier that day made me a threat. Marcus felt tears stinging his eyes. He didn't deserve to cry. But they came anyway. My neighbor saw. Mrs. Peterson. White woman. 3 houses down. She called me the next day. Said she couldn't believe what she'd seen. Said it was disgraceful. Said she'd be a witness if I wanted to file a complaint. Dr. Thompson's voice got quieter. So I did. I filed a detailed complaint. I had witnesses. I had documentation. I had everything. And it disappeared, Marcus said quietly. And it disappeared, she confirmed. I followed up 3 times. 3 times I called the department. Asked about the status. Was told it was being reviewed. Being investigated. And then, nothing. Like it never happened. Like I never mattered. She pulled out another document. Placed it in front of Marcus. Do you know what this is? Marcus looked at it. Official. Letterhead. Riverside Police Department. It's the complaint. The original one. The one that disappeared from your file. She tapped it. Agent Foster found it. Hidden in archived records. Deliberately buried. Because someone decided protecting you was more important than protecting my rights. Marcus stared at the document. His name was right there. The accusation. The witness statements. The evidence. All of it buried. Who? He asked. Who buried it? Does it matter? It was the system. The culture. The thin blue line that protects bad cops at the expense of everyone else. She took the document back. But here's what I want you to understand. When you buried that complaint, when the department made it disappear, you didn't just get away with violating my rights. You taught me that the system doesn't care. That no matter how educated I am, no matter how accomplished, no matter how much I contribute to society, I'm still just a black woman who doesn't belong in a nice neighborhood. That's not. Yes, it is. Dr. Thompson's eyes blazed. That's exactly what it is. And you know what I did after that night? After I realized my complaint would go nowhere. Marcus shook his head. I installed security cameras. 8 of them, covering every angle of my property. Because I knew it would happen again. And I wanted proof. Undeniable proof. She pulled out her phone. And it did happen again. 3 more times. Different officers. Same harassment. Same questions. Same assumption that I don't belong. She showed him videos. 3 different encounters. 3 different cops. All doing exactly what Marcus had done. But this time I had proof. This time they couldn't bury it. This time I sued. And I won. Settled out of court. 6 figures. Money I donated to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. She put her phone away. So in a way, Reed, you taught me something valuable. You taught me that the system won't protect me. That I have to protect myself. That I have to assume every cop is like you until proven otherwise. The words cut deep. I'm sorry, Marcus said. It's inadequate. It's nowhere near enough. But I'm sorry. For what I did. For what was buried. For teaching you to fear the people who should protect you. I don't fear you, Drive. Thompson said coldly. I despise you. There's a difference. Fear gives you power. Contempt takes it away. She stood up. Gathered her papers. I came here today for one reason. Not to forgive you. Not to help you feel better. But to make sure you understand something. She looked down at him. You violated a black woman who saves lives for a living. Who's contributed more to society in one surgery than you contributed in 12 years as a cop? Who's earned every ounce of respect and dignity you tried to strip away? And you did it because you couldn't imagine a world where black people are more successful than you. Marcus felt like he'd been slapped. That's what this is really about, isn't it? Not public safety. Not protecting neighborhoods. But maintaining a hierarchy where people like you get to feel superior to people like me. Where your badge gives you power over people who've accomplished more. Done more. Been more. She walked to the door. Stopped. I don't accept your apology. I don't believe you've changed. And I don't think any